This is Schaefer, and I am a 7th grade English teacher, and I wanted to go over the lesson that I taught today to help out anyone who, needs some distance learning help, or for any students who are absent in my class. So there you go. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be presenting using Google. So okay, here we go. I'm going to click a Chrome tab. How about that? And I'm going to go to my Power School class for my 6th period, because why not? Okay, so if you're in my class and you missed today, it doesn't really matter what class period you're in, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, or 6th, you are going to be looking at my video conference expectations. So first off, I need you to be on time, or at least a couple minutes logged on to the Google Meet before the Google Meet starts. I would love for you to be prepared and quiet, and if you need to charge your computer, just make sure you have your charger or that your computer is charged. And when you enter the Google Meet, I'd love for you guys to be muted. Your mics need to be muted, and I would really, really love it if I could see your face, so make sure that you click the video link so I can see your face and your mic is muted. Make sure you are respectful and considerate and kind to other people in the classroom. And also, it's not going to be any fun if you don't participate. So make sure that you participate. Okay. Over here on the side, you will see that this is my due date. So if you're in my class, next Friday by 3:30 p.m. is when your first assignment's going to be due. I use Pear Deck, so you're not going to have to turn in the assignment. It's automatically going to send the assignment to me. But you need to make sure that you've completed the entire assignments, every single assignment that I give you, by 3:30 next Friday, okay? If you don't complete it, I don't accept late work. So if you don't complete it and I automatically end it at 3:30, you're gonna have to do some extra credit, and I'll show you how to get there in a second. So here's some rules from my class. Please don't be tardy. I'm going to be reading Ghost by Jason Reynolds for the first 10 minutes of class, and that will allow you to log on and enter into the class. And especially if you're having any technical issues, I wanted to give about 10 minutes of class before I take roll. So I'm going to take roll at the beginning of class, and I'm also going to take roll at the end of class, so don't click out until I tell you to. Like I said, I don't accept late work because I give you a lot of time and we go over every single assignment in class, so there's no excuse for that. The online chat, when you're chatting online, it needs to only be for questions or responses to questions. I will assign a student to be the online chat monitor when we're doing our Google Meets. In case I'm teaching, then they can answer questions for you as well. And they are allowed, if they're the online chat monitor, they're the only ones who are allowed to turn on their mic and ask me a question directly while I'm teaching. Make sure you also dress up for school, because we're in school, even if it's distance learning, and I want to get to know you, and I don't necessarily want to get to know you in your SpongeBob pajamas. So yeah, dress up, please. Okay, so some consequences that will happen if you don't adhere to my rules is I'll give you a warning. I'll be like, hey homie, can you stop? Typically what I'll say. And if you choose not to stop, I may ask you again, look, dude, I just told you to stop. Come on now, just stop. And if you don't stop, I'm gonna mute you. And if the behavior continues, I'm going to have a conference with you, and I'm probably going to remove you from our Google Meet. I don't really want to have to do that. If I do that, I'm going to contact your parents, and if it continues, I'm going to ask your mom, your dad, your guardian, whomever, that they have to sit in on the next Google Meet. And come on, that's not fun. Who wants to do that? I don't want to sit on my son's Google Meet. No, thank you. All right, grades. Okay, so I use the Rubric from the CASP, and if you wanted to read a little bit more about the grades, you can do so. But it's essentially a rubric. It's a 5-point rubric where if you get a 5, that's actually exceeding the standard. It's above proficient. It's extra. You're being extra. So you get 125% out of 100%. A 4 would be you met the standard, you're proficient, you understand it, you're good, and you get 100%. close to proficient, you're almost there. You're missing a couple things, so you'll get a 75%. Now, progressing, you did half the work. So I'm going to give you half the credit. And emerging means, oh my gosh, you wrote something. You wrote a sentence, so you'll get like 25%. And if you did nothing, you get nothing. I mean, it's really easy to understand that. Also, plagiarism. I am against copying other people's work. I'm an author and I adhere to copyright standards. So do not plagiarize someone's work. It's something that I really dislike. So much so that if you copy someone else's work, then I will give you a no score, a 0. And if somebody allows you to copy their work, not only are you gonna get a no score, but so are they. And I'm gonna contact your parents. Isn't that great? Isn't that awesome? Isn't that just snazzy? All right, right here is the typical grading scale. If you wanna get an A, you have to get 90% to 100%. A B is 80% to 89%. A C is 70% to 79%. I should change that. A D is 60% to 69%, and an F is below 59%. Once again, in bold pink, I do not accept late work. If you accidentally did not complete an assignment, or say you take a quiz and your quiz is just not good, you bombed it so bad, then you can do extra credit. Right here, 2 extra credit. Right underneath, welcome to Mrs. Schaefer's homepage. So, but these are the extra credit assignments right here. And the first extra credit assignment at the very, very top, right here. Okay, so this is the first extra credit assignment that I want to talk to you about. This is an extra credit reading log. So every single night, I want you to read for 20 to 30 minutes if you're in my regular class or my reading intervention class. And if you're in my honors class, I want you reading for 30 minutes a night. That's not that bad, okay? Now, after you do your reading, if you'd like to get some extra credit for this reading, because come on, who doesn't like being extra? Then I need you to fill in this reading log right here. And what you'll do is you'll put the title of the book, the author of the book, how many pages did you read, the date that you read it. Answer these 3 questions, like, today I read about cats and dogs. The event that was the most important was the cat and the dog got into a fight. I learned that you should not get a cat angry. No, you shouldn't, because they hold grudges. After completing my reading, I feel terrified of my new kitten. I don't know, whatever you feel. Okay, this is essentially what it looks like. Boom, boom, boom. My reading log, isn't it snazzy? I created this yesterday. I like it a lot. Okay, moving on. The first 2 weeks of assignments, and the reason why I am assigning weeks of assignments is because I'm not going to see my students every single day. I have block periods, so I'll see period 1, 2, and 3 on one day, and then the next day I'll see period 2, 4, and 6, and so forth and so on. So because we have block schedules, I'm doing 5 days of assignments because I will see my students, or you, for 5 days. If you would like a planner for what we're doing and you're like a planner yourself, then you can click here and you can make a copy of the planner. It's all good and gravy. Now, the assignments that I have for this week, once again, I am under weeks 1 and 2, first 2 weeks of school for 2020 to 2021. This is where you're going to click the assignment, and it's going to be a Pear Deck link. So I'm going to click right here on this assignment. Why not? And it asks, how are you feeling today? Well, I am quite awesome. Thank you so much for asking. I'm going to click that. How about that? We will begin your journey. Ooh, okay, so this is kind of cool. This is my teacher agenda board, and I created a virtual classroom because I don't really get to see you inside my real classroom, and I really like my virtual classroom. It's really cool. So I have a little plant here that's never gonna die. I don't have to water it. I just like sprinkle love, like, oh, love, love, love. And then we can do it because come on, hello, we can. And Rosie the Riveter, she's like my jam. And then here's my agenda. These are the 6 assignments that I typically will teach in a school year. I will always give a bell work. There will always be a discussion, classwork, or a close read, class practice, and every single week there will be a quiz. So I typically pick from this list of 6 assignments, I'll pick 5 of them. And then, I love this, I have a little bit of audio that I added. And I don't know if you can hear it, but here we go. Okay. I might have terrified you. That's okay. Okay. So I already circled how I felt right here. I circled that I am feeling great. Yay. Moving on. So each assignment is going to have an assignment number, and we are doing assignment number 1. Remember, there are 5 assignments in a week. I only want you to do the assignment that we are doing in class. Do not work ahead of me. And the reason I don't want you working ahead of me is because I'm picky, very picky. And I have very specific ways. I guess you could say I'm controlling. I know that that's what a lot of people would say. But anyways, I just like to say picky. So there are like ways that I want you to write in these assignments. And I will tell you how to do that when I'm teaching the assignment. So don't go ahead. Now you can preview if you want. Go ahead and like read through it, or maybe even if like there's a video that you're supposed to take a summary on, and there's 2 videos in here you're supposed to take a summary on. But anyways, if there's a video that you're supposed to take a summary on, then maybe watch it and take some notes or something, but don't do the assignment. Don't do the summary. Wait for me to tell you how to do it. Wait for it, wait for it, wait for it. Okay, kind of sound like a musical. All right, so this lesson that you're allowed to do is you're going to determine whether you have a growth mindset or not. And okay, so I don't really have a growth mindset. I'm a perfectionist and I'm a control freak and I'm picky and I like things the way that I like them. And so when a problem happens or when things don't go my way, my natural response is not to say, oh, goody, there's a problem I need to solve. Yay. My natural response is to essentially not be too thrilled. So I do not have a growth mindset, but I'm working toward a growth mindset. I'm trying to cultivate a growth mindset, if you will. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how I would honestly answer these questions. Okay? Like honestly, let me go. Okay. So this explains the growth mindset a little bit more, the difference between a fixed and growth mindset. So yeah, there's that. I'm going to click get started because I've already read this. If you have it, go ahead and read it. All right. Now, it goes over the growth mindset again if you want to read it again, but I've already read it like 6 times today, so I don't have to read it. But I do want to go through the question. So it says, number 1, no matter how much intelligence you have, you can always change it a good deal. Okay, I'm going to go with agree. I'm not going to go with agree a lot because I do think that you have to want to change in order to change your intelligence. I don't think it just happens. Yeah, so I think that you have to want it. So I'm not going to say agree a lot. Okay. Number 2, you can learn new things, but you cannot really change your basic level of intelligence. I don't agree with that. So I'm going to go with disagree on that one because I think that you can change your basic level of intelligence. But once again, I'm not going to say disagree a lot because I think there are some people who don't want to learn. Doesn't mean that they can't learn. It just means that they don't necessarily want to learn. And I don't think that that matters how old you are either. I just think that some people just don't want to learn anything new. Okay, number 3, I like my work best when it makes me think hard. Not really. Okay, that sounds so horrible, but like, I like doing what I know how to do well. I'm not really good at challenges. I'm not the kind of person that'll say challenge accepted. But I am hardworking, and if a challenge presents itself to me, then after I kind of freak out at first, that's my initial response, then I figure it out, or I try to. Or if I can't figure it out and I can't try, I ask my husband and he tends to help me, hopefully. I think. I'm going to go with agree a little. Okay. I like my work best when I can do it really well without too much trouble. Yeah. So bad. But I like doing what I know how to do. So let's just be real. Okay, number 5. I like work that I'll learn from even if I make a lot of mistakes. No. I don't like making mistakes. But I disagree. I don't like to make mistakes. I'm a perfectionist. I like things to be perfect. Okay, number 6. I like my work best when I can do it perfectly without any mistakes. Yeah. I do. I like when everything has its place. I like watching, have you ever watched those satisfying videos where like maybe somebody's like, I don't know, decorating a cake or decorating cookies? Like I love when things are neat and orderly and everything has its own spot and my house is clean and it smells clean. I love things to look perfect. I know it's bad, but it's true. Okay, number 7. When something is hard, it just makes me want to work more on it, not less. Not really. I'll say agree a little. It depends on, okay, so this is the truth. If I like it, if I'm interested in it, so I love reading, I love writing, I love all things words. And so if it has something to do with words and it's challenging, like Scrabble, then I'm going to be all on that because I enjoy it. But video games are not something I enjoy. I know, shocker of the world, but I just don't like video games because I've never been good at them. So yeah, I'm not even really going to try at video games. Even when my son's like, Mom, we need to play video games. I'm like, but why? But do we now? Do we? Okay. Yeah. Okay. Number 8. And the final question. To tell the truth, when I work hard, it makes me feel as though I'm not very smart. And I kind of don't like the way this question is worded. I think if I make a mistake, it makes me feel like I'm not smart because I have something called like an inner critic or a negative voice. And it tells me when I make a mistake, like, oh, see, you're not that great. Look at that. You made a mistake. You're not awesome. Nobody likes that. I don't know. This little negative voice inside of my head, like, overtakes me and makes me feel bad about myself. I don't think it makes me feel, no, yeah, I guess it can make me feel not smart. But I don't like the way this question's worded. I would say if you make a mistake, you feel like you're not very smart. So I'm going to agree a little. Okay, now that I've answered everything, I'm going to hit submit and get feedback. And it gives you a ton of feedback. It also says if you want to sign up or log in, you don't have to because it already gives you the feedback. So the most important one I'm going to say is going to be the very first paragraph. So let's see if this actually describes me. Okay. Right now, you are unsure about whether you can develop your intelligence. I know I can develop my intelligence. It depends on whether it's a subject I want to develop my intelligence on. So yeah, kind of picky. You probably care about performing well and you do want to learn. Yeah, I do want to learn, but you may not want to have to work too hard for it. It depends. It depends on like whether I like the subject or not. Like I said, video games, I don't care. Reading, writing, Scrabble, yeah, I'm on that. You may feel a bit discouraged, yeah, when you perform poorly on something or at something. Yes, I do get discouraged. Like, okay, so say that I don't know, maybe I'm making tacos and I burn the meat. That really frustrates me. One, because I don't want to have to like go get taco meat again or like remake it. But 2, I've done it so many times that the only reason that I messed up is because I wasn't really giving my all. I wasn't really paying attention, or maybe I was doing too many things at once. So I guess I don't really like to perform poorly. I don't really like to fail. I don't really like to make mistakes. So that sits with me. Okay. So now that I've read through a little bit about that, I'm going to go back to my presentation. If you were in my classroom, you'd have a little dot right here that you'd have to drag. So I dragged mine like right about right here because I agree, but I'm not like entirely in agreement with it. So yeah, I'm about right here. So that right there is lesson number 1, and that's what we did today in class. Now let's go back to Power School. So we did the first lesson in class. That's the only thing you had to do aside from reading for 20 to 30 minutes if you're in my regular or my reading intervention classes. And if you're in my honors class, you need to read for 30 minutes. I really, really enjoy this book, Ghost by Jason Reynolds. And I read the first chapter in class today while I was taking roll. And a lot of the kids were really interested in it and they're excited for the next chapter. So the next time I see them, I'll read chapter 2. Okay, finally, right here, if you are in Mrs. Schaefer's class, I do suggest that you click right here and subscribe to my YouTube channel, because I'm going to be creating lessons like this to help you when you're absent. And I'm also going to be creating other kinds of lessons. And I have interviews with authors and interviews with illustrators, and I reread fairy tales in my vlog, Bunny Tales with Zeb. And there's just all sorts of cool stuff that are like totally in the works right now. So yeah, subscribe, like, share, all that jazz. Okay. Have a wonderful day, make good choices, and do your work, man. Lesson number 1. Do not do lesson number 2, 3, 4, or 5. You can preview them, but wait for this one right here. Oh, did you see my eyeliner? It's on point. Okay, anyways, wait for your teacher to actually teach the lesson before you do it. Okay, that's all I gotta say. TTFN, ta-ta for now. And how do I end?